Hey guys, as a fan of the Carolina Panthers, I'm here to say it. We're not going to win a single game this year, and I place the blame solely on Scott Fitterer. Let's get to it.
Hey, I thought it was all over.
As I said in the beginning, we're going to go 0-6. I don't even need the schedule. It's 0-6. We play the Lions. We play the Vikings. We play all these great teams. You know what the Vikings have that the Panthers don't? A really, really, really good receiving core. You know what Jordan Addison would be if he was on our Carolina Panthers? Wide receiver one already. Yeah, it blows my mind the fact that there's so many people out there, and especially people on Twitter or X. Shout out to all of y'all. I've been interacting with a bunch of people, and a lot of people are like, "Oh man, we just need to stay with Dalton. We just need to put Bryce Young on the bench. That's what we need to do. We just need to put him there. Let Dalton do it. He's clearly not it." After not this past week where we lost to the Seahawks, but the previous week where we lost to the Saints, and they brought in Dalton for a sneak. Now, a lot of people are going to criticize Frank Reich. A lot of people are going to criticize David Tepper. But the proper place to place blame right now is Scott Fitterer. Again, I'm going to keep pounding that drum. This team was built with the idea that Bryce Young was going to helm that wide receiver core, that he was going to be protected, that we were going to have a defense like paying Brian Burns, that we were actually going to stay healthy. Now, obviously, with J.C. Horn out, injuries to Luvu, Mingo's had a concussion, Thielen was nursing something in the preseason. Like, we've got Chark was out. I mean, we are so injury-plagued to start. I don't know how we can even, to be honest, beat the Texans. And I know that's going to be a big point of contention inside of the Panthers community, and I am here for it. Everyone's going to say that C.J. Stroud was the proper pick over Bryce Young. Now, don't get me wrong. If we would have taken C.J. Stroud, I would have been totally fine with it. I love Bryce Young. I love what he can do. But if that's the case, we need to trade him and trade him ASAP. If we're going to cut bait with Bryce Young, you just need to be done with it. My personal opinion is that we should, in fact, do the opposite. Shift Dalton out, go out and get somebody who's closer to his size, closer to his skill set, and put that person behind him. I do not think that Andy Dalton, who is a 15-plus year vet, should be compared to Bryce Young at any point. He has literally shown over his career that he can lead a team at points, but obviously he is a certified backup now. And again, apparently one of the best backups in the league, according to some Twitter pundits. But with that, I think that Dalton is going to hinder the development and success of Bryce Young as long as he is on the roster. The reason why I say that is because he will always be over his shoulder as like, oh, he's taller, got a little bit more of a cannon, got a 15-plus years of experience, all of that stuff. And they're going to want to put Bryce Young on the bench. I do not think that's the way to go. This last game, especially with Dalton playing, I'm going to pull up their stats right now, actually, while I'm talking about it. And I just don't think that they're ready. I don't think that this offense is equipped to win. I don't think that the front office set us up for success. I don't think that any of that. Like, here, I'm going to pull up the Saints and the Falcons game real quick. Obviously, in this Seahawks game, I was super sad. We went down early, and then we stayed down. Dalton tried to bring us back, but again, if 34, 58, 361, and 2 touchdowns is good enough for Dalton to get the starting position over Bryce Young, then why did we draft Bryce Young? Why did we just stay at 9, draft somebody like that, and just roll with Dalton? Oh, because we want to develop somebody for the future, not the now. Bryce Young, I understand, nursing an ankle injury that happened, I think it was in game 1. It might have been game 2. I'm sorry. I never thought that this season was going to be an 8 or 10 win season. And to everybody out there that did, you're setting unrealistic expectations for the franchise. Our franchise is closer to the Texans than we are to a winning franchise. I'm sorry. We're bottom in pretty much everything. We have one of the worst secondaries in the league. We have arguably, I would say, a B plus running back room. I would say A quarterback room, regardless. I think Bryce Young will develop into something, but our wide receiver core leaves much to be desired. I don't like the acquisition of Chark, Laviska, or Thielen. I thought I liked Thielen, but when I really look at it, he does look old. Don't get me wrong, he's making some plays, but that comes with experience. I would have rather us went out and dropped a second-round pick this year and a fourth down the road to go get Cooper Kupp, who I understand is also nursing an injury right now, but I'd rather have the high end potential of somebody like a Cooper Kupp as opposed to a like on his way out wide receiver such as Adam Thielen. Again, if we would have left Adam Thielen on the Vikings, he's their wide receiver 4 at best. So why does he need to be our wide receiver 1? That doesn't make any sense to me. On top of that, I think that Fitterer has allowed the offensive line to deteriorate. I think there's been some people that are obviously free agents and some people that have been signed from the offensive defensive lines on other teams, and some people still sitting out there in free agency that we're not even calling. And I find that that's kind of, I don't know, it's defeatist. It's against what us as fans want. We want our teams to win. We want to be put in the catbird seat or the ability to actually be there, make plays, and win the game. Obviously not me, you, or anything like that, the players themselves, the organization, the front office. But I feel like if a lot of the concerns that people have with Tepper are true, meaning that he's got his hand to Jerry Jones like in the pie, then the person that's helping enable that as well is this GM Scott Fitterer. And again, I've seen on Twitter and everything like that, people going back and forth about who's to blame. And a lot of people placing a ton of blame on Frank Reich for some reason, like, oh, he can't do this, vanilla play calling, blah, 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 blah. But we literally have a bottom 10 offensive line. We have a bottom 7 secondary, and we probably have a bottom 10 wide receiver group. So please tell me how he's supposed to take that bag of mush and turn that into something. Please tell me, because people are going to be like, oh, man, well, we have the 18th best offensive line. Oh, that's not good enough to win. That's not good enough to win with somebody who many people believe is too short. Didn't look too short when he was out there darting balls. You know what he's not getting? The proper protection. You know what he's not getting? I'm sorry, what he's not getting? He's not getting open windows to put the ball because the wide receivers can't get separation. I think that this is a recipe for disaster. I'm not even going to go into all of them. I'm truly blown away at the ineptitude of the front office in Carolina. I don't know how to say it any nicer. I don't know what to do or whatnot, but at this point, I think that our franchise is going to trade Brian Burns, and it will be one of the biggest mistakes of our entire franchise's history. Mark my words. If we do not pay that man and we trade him or let him walk in free agency, we are so stupid. And Fitterer needs to go on the spot. I don't understand it. Like, okay, our next few games: Vikings, loss; Lions, loss; Dolphins. If the Dolphins drop more than 70 points on us, I'm going to be mad, but I absolutely think that we have a worse defense than the Broncos. I think we lose to the Texans, the Colts. I think we might be able to beat the Bears. We're going to lose to the Cowboys, the Titans. And then we go into, again, the division: Bucks, Saints, Falcons. I think we could lose all 3 of those. I don't think we could beat the Packers. I think the Jaguars will be doing something. And then again, the Bucks to finish. I'm sorry. The only win that I could possibly see is the Bears, and the Bears might either A, figure it out by then, or B, we could just give them the game by then. So I could see us going winless. I could see the Panthers team not winning a single game for the rest of the year. And that would be, as a Panthers fan, an indictment on the front office, on the owner, coaching staff, of course, but I don't think that he should be fired because I don't think, again, he was given the proper tools to start this. And obviously that would mean something happened to Bryce Young. I think that if Bryce Young's out there, he might be able to squeak us out a game. That's why I put us at maybe being able to squeak away 3 or 4. But the idea that we're going to hit 7 wins, 6 wins, it's so far-fetched. Until JC comes back, until we can get Louvu ready, until we can get this team healthy out there and really rolling, we are so screwed. But with that, I'm still a Carolina Panthers fan. I'm still going to keep rooting. I'm still going to, keep pounding the desk, keep pounding. But I also need to be realistic about the expectations that I'm setting forth for my fandom, because I still have to debate this with other people. I still talk about my Panthers, and it's really hard for me to go into a conversation and say, "Hey, I'm a Panthers fan." And they're like, "Oh, okay, so you're basically Cardinals fans. You're going to basically try and get a number one pick, but we don't even have one. So we're basically losing to give the Bears two top five picks, which means they'll probably trade Justin Fields, which, shout out, this is my tinfoil hat theory, whatever. I think that Justin Fields, if he ends up getting traded, I think he ends up going to New England, personally. And I think that Justin Fields and Mac Jones, because I think at that point Mac Jones would probably get shopped. And then Justin Field with Belichick, I think could be really dynamic. Great defense on the other side. Really smart. They can put some receivers around him. And obviously he can scramble the shit out of that ball. So if anybody can get it out of him, it would be Belichick and New England. So that's just my tinfoil hat theory with that. But if that's the case, they're going to trade those picks and go get Caleb Williams, because the Cardinals are not going to get him because he said he will not play for them. And I hope it turns into something more. I hope it turns into a controversy. I hope it's a big, huge thing, because I think that the narrative and the shift needs to change. It's not the pick that matters, it's the location. The perfect thing that I'm going to talk about with that is Christian Gonzalez from New England. Fell in the draft. Shout out Rich Eisen. We watched it on The Pick Is In on the Roku channel. Amazing, amazing documentary. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. But Christian Gonzalez, he was in there. He was fallen in the draft, and he went as a corner to the best defensive coach in football, Bill Belichick. You know what he's doing in the league? He's wrecking it. He's arguably one of the best corners from that draft, if not the best corner from that draft. So I think the fit matters more, the coaching staff and everything. If you're getting stuck with a Nathaniel Hackett or somebody like that, you're screwed. A Brandon Staley with the Chargers, your career's absolutely bummed. But Christian Gonzalez went to the right place. So I think that we are in a very odd place as Panthers fan. Again, we don't have that first round pick. We do have some picks. We have a second this year. I think it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 or something like that. But regardless, we are not playing winning football. We're not putting winning football even on the roster. So with that, I just resigned myself. I'm not going to keep bashing my Panthers. I want us to do good. But at this point, I'm going to continue to say it, and I hope I can get more people to echo it. We need to fire Scott Fitterer. Fire him ASAP, or else this Panthers team will not succeed. But regardless, this is Nick. This is Real Coverage. Hopefully you have a great day. Hopefully I can see a win for my Panthers here soon. But until it's there, I'm not betting on anything. I'm out on my Panthers right now. Good luck, guys.